now that everything is all sharpened up and stark and robotic, what? Your cheeks should be relatively dry. If they're not, that's fine. Just, chillax a little bit. Mine are still a bit on the wet side, that's okay. And if they are, you could, just take a break. Or if you want to save some time, you could start doing this kind of crazy stuff, which I think I'm going to want to do, because this stuff is cheap, and this needs a few coats as well. Other great reason to have your shirt on while you're doing the makeup. You could figure out how far up your neck you have to go. And again, because I'm doing classic rabbit, my collar is going to be up high, and it's going to be buttoned up to the very top, so I could see that, I'm not going to go farther than my actual neckline, so, ladies. And I'm just going to use the same brush I used with the other black, because we're not going to be using this on our face anymore, so we can ruin it with the cheap stuff, it's alright. Cheap black stuff, ahoy! Woo! Yeah! So, pile this on, and have at it. Be very careful, don't neglect the back of your neck, whilst you're doing that, and just get everything as far as you need to. I know Bunny now has like all of this covered. I'm doing classic rabbit, so I don't need to do all of that crazy stuff. So just pour that on. You can see how cheap it is too. It's so cheap. It makes you want to cry.
There.
So, have at it. If you have your own personal page to come in and help you, that's awesome too. I don't have my own personal page. I have a doesn't, who I might enlist to help me get the back of my neck. Hey, doesn't.
What?
What you doing?
Nothing.
Do you want to be my page?
Sure.
I have my own personal page. You should get one too. They're half off now, I think. So,
Shut up, I'm expensive.
I got her on sale.
Thank you.
Yes, don't forget the back of your ears. Other side.
Okay.
Doesn't? Put that on the back. Get the back of your ears, get all that. Also, if you have any grapes, you can come feed me too if
you're a jerk.
Now, we're gonna open up some of this stuff. You're gonna take one of your little cute cutout things. Also, you should have two of them. BT dubs. Have two of them. One for silver, one for copper. What you're going to do, and this is my magical trick of magic now, is that you're going to take a little bit of your silver. You're going to need about that much of makeup. I mean, it's the vents and all of this stuff and lips and the swirls. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. This stuff that comes in a tube. There's no alcohol solution to put in here. Obviously, it's already a creamy consistency, but it doesn't spread very easily. So what I have found is, if you you have your stuff in your makeup little dish, right? If you put in like a little drop of water, and I mean a little drop, will help it immensely. And it also depends on the makeup too. Like the silver is probably the creamiest out of all three of them. The gold will be second, and the copper is just it will not spread easily. It just won't. So you're gonna put in a little bit more than just one drop of water. We'll get to that later. But the silver, little drop, it'll go a long way. Do not put more than that because it's gonna get all slippery and then it won't work. So I'm gonna go get a drop of water. Or hey personal page, to keep me in the same shot, you can go put a very tiny drop.
Got it.
What we're going to do now is take your tinier brush. This is super duper tiny. I actually bought this at Michael's because I needed a really tiny brush. It's a Cornell Soft Comfort Chisel Blender, number D458761, I think. it's a tiny brush. I don't know what to tell you. So what you're gonna do is mix all of that silver in with that little drop of water. See that? Look how it's much more goopier, to use a word. So what we're gonna do is do the little eyebrow nose combo. Strokes, very light strokes. Make your little box. Come all the way down to kind of where your eyebrows, kind of where your own eyebrows start, and then go along with the eyebrows. And the eyebrows are going to end where your eyebrows end, because again, using your own specific muscles to, yeah, they're going to probably end around there. I did a little dot right there. So start off right here, keeping in mind that they are a little bit, the little box is taller. And they do slightly taper at the end, but only very slightly. The metallics don't really need to have a bunch of coatings. We're gonna need to have some coatings on the black just to make it, make the silver much more pronounced. Also, putting it on thickly helps. So there you go. And of course, do the other side. Alright, once you have your brows going on over there, you're going to start with the bridge of your nose. And you're going to want to keep it a little bit thinner than the lines you have on your eyebrows. And also, depending on what pictures you're using as a reference, it could be thinner or thicker. Bonnie changes her makeup every time she puts it on, so which is what I like about her. It's not a bad thing whatsoever, but it's annoying for cosplayers like myself. Bonnie. But you're gonna go straight down, of course. Keep it as straight as you possibly can, and have the little tip of your arrow and right at the tip of your nose, if you could even see that. The lighting in this apartment is horrible. I apologize. You don't want it to be the thickness of the bridge of your nose. You want it to be on the thin side because robots are all metal and bony and stuff like that. So if you have the bridge of my nose is not very, it's kind of average. But I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner. I also want my nose to be thinner. What you would do is make your highlights. So what you're kind of doing highlights and shadowing is what you're really doing. But you're gonna want it on the thin side. And don't worry too much if the arrow isn't very defined in its perfect pointiness. We're going to help define, exactly where the arrow is on your nose when we go over it with the black again. But give it a shape, of course. All right, and you have the bridge and whatnot done. And now I can't avoid it any longer because things are dry now. These freaking vents. But I'm going to do the same thing I did with the rest of my face. I'm going to plan out where I'm going to be placing things on my face, of course. And with the vents too that I have noticed with pictures, watching videos, and all of that stuff, using classic rabbit makeup, the under jawline or the under plate on the vent is thicker than the ones that are here and here. Only slightly, but it is thicker. And this vent is going to end here on the edge, and end here on the edge, with the two plates here connected. Also, the two that are going to, the two that meet here, they meet at an angle. They're cut off. They're not just it's not just a rectangle. They're gonna cut off at an angle. So keep all this in mind as you're doing it as well. Also, these are two separate blocks, while this is all one. This one curves around the jawline and ends here. So all this, the rabbit's makeup was really all about the details, and the very tiny details that make the whole thing come together and just, be the artistic masterpiece that it is. So just keep all that in mind. If you can, take your time, and have fun. Okay, enough. Let's just do it already. Hate this. So, just... yeah, that wasn't so hard, was it? There you go. It is curved just ever so slightly. So once you have your initial jawline down, you can go ahead and do the other two. There you go. That don't look too bad. Other good kind of note just for makeup in general. I learned this by watching Michelle Phan's videos on YouTube. If you just relax your jaw and just kind of keep it open while you're doing stuff, it'll just relax all of your face muscles, and you'll put stuff on easier. So if you see me just gaping open, that's why. You don't want the silver to be touching your face. You want a very small sliver of black to help separate the vent from the copper face. And now for the actual vents on the cheek vents. And then depending on exactly which reference of Classic Rabbit you're using, the number of vents will vary. Usually it's about 3 to 5 for what I have seen. I think the ones on the DVD, I think it's just 3. Let's go check our reference photos. Indeed, there are only 3. So let's put on 3. There you go. Nice and easy. Alright, and now while it's still relatively wet, go in and mess up your perfect work. By mess up, let's just use our finger for this actually. Go in and kind of blur the edges ever so slightly. Alright, once you have your one cheek vent done, gotta do it all over again. Oh god. Do the exact same thing on this vent. So, ready? Let's use the magic of video editing to take this and put it on your face like this. Wah! Yep, I didn't. That's how the vents go on. What? You don't believe me? Now that both vents are officially on your face and looking I'm getting better at this. Looking pretty good if I do so myself. Now we're going to go back over with our black brush and black makeup and make everything all shiny. Mostly all of this stuff over here. What we're going to do first is reinforce the fact that this, first of all, exists on your face and that this is a block shape. I'm gonna use the cap because I'm ghetto like that. And then bring that around. There you go. Once you have the block all lined out, do the same thing around the edges of the entire brow silver region. The arrow, the eyebrows, everything. Just line it. And then make sure this is all very, blocked out as such. And there you go. Now the triangle is much more pronounced. Everything is more pronounced overall. The box shape has been achieved. And you have bouncy metal eyebrows now. That's kind of cool, isn't it? The last few details of this whole part of your face, you're going to want to segment your eyebrows here and here. And then little details, like when you put on your line, feather it out and shade it ever so softly. And then also keep feathering it out kind of over your nose here. Don't cover your nose in the black, but you kind of want it to disappear. So do it enough, like when you see me head on, obviously I have a nose there, but you don't see much else. So you're just trying to mask the humanness of your face. There you go. And now you can finally move on to the copper.